Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
What did you think about that moment when the president was asking Democrats to stand up for American citizens during that part of the speech when he was talking about immigration and immigration enforcement efforts?
I think you can agree with the what, like standing up for American citizens, but I disagree with the how. And so it's always about how do we bring our country together, but not stand on the backs of others. There's thinly veiled racist language, anti-immigrant language in what he was asking, and that was uncomfortable.
Nobody stands up. These people are crazy. I'm telling you, they're crazy. Amazing. Incredible.
It was amazing, my friends, last night's State of the Union address. Oh, I've never seen a State of the Union address like that one. Incredible. And here to discuss it with me,
James Golden, America's Princess of Policy, Princess Di.
My friends, I didn't give you the name of the show. It's Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, fastest hour in American media. Joining us, Her Nessness, the Highness, Her Royalness, the Analystness that you've been waiting for. Oh, from last night's State of the Unionness. And boy, it's something. Princess Diana in the houseness. Good afternoon, Princess.
Well, hello, Sir James Ness. It is wonderful to talk about the amazing. I am still jazzed about that speech. It was a historic moment. You know, it's those things. I kind of had forgotten that Trump does a master class at these things. And so I was anticipating a policy speech like they have always been. And so, you know, I thought, well, I'll stay up as long as I can, and then I'll, you know, listen to it in the morning, the rest of it. And I was so excited. I was talking out loud in my house back to Trump and cheering. And I have to say, he put on, as I say, a masterclass for the ages, and he scripted not only what the Republicans cheered for, he totally scripted the fact that the Democrats did not stand and that they sat down. Now, he has talked about these things before. Isn't it a shame they don't stand up for these things that everyone in America should cheer for? And he has mentioned that and bemused it, and he used it. He used it against them. He set a trap, and man, it slammed shut last night, and they still don't know it. That is the best part of this. And I just want, and I'm sure everyone has talked about it and is aware, the 15 years, 15 words of the biggest political trap in American history that Donald Trump sprung on them. And, you know, you probably have the soundbite, but I just wanted to make people pay attention to the 15 words that start the first duty.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want those 15 words, if I'm thinking that they're the right 15 words, let us play the soundbite. Would you like that?
I would love that.
Okay, here we go.
To join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Now, Princess Di, this applause, just lower it. This applause, this whole soundbite lasts almost 2.5 minutes. And what you hear is the continuous applause. Meanwhile, Democrats are sitting, looking sullen, angry, anger out of you cannot believe. J.D. Vance also had a very funny reaction to this, but this was a moment that will live in whoever covers State of the Union addresses, as you say, this was the biggest political trap ever at a State of the Union message, and it will be remembered.
Yes, and as they were sitting, Donald Trump stood at the front of the room. He swept his arm out toward the sitting Democrats. He shook his head. He pursed his lips, and he was then gesturing several times toward the sitting Democrats. He knew they would sit. They did sit, and he scripted a moment for advertisements all across the country who are going to run that for the midterms. And if they don't, they're being failures as politicians, but they will, because he will make sure of it. That was something that has never been done before, and I heard on CBS that he himself scripted that, where he basically says, if you agree, then stand up. None of the other things that are applause lines and a stand-up lines did he say that. No one has ever said that before. So he basically challenged them to be themselves, and they did themselves in. He led them where they wanted to go. They had to go due to their base, their anti-ICE agenda, their own ideology. They could not stand for that. And it was the binary choice between the purpose of the American government is to protect American citizens, or, that was the question, the binary choice, illegal aliens. And the Democrats have chosen, we know they have chosen, and they demonstrated it in under a minute, and it's one of those moments of clarity in history that is not going to be understood fully for quite a while, and the Democrats still have no idea.
And neither do some of the people in the press corps who are just looking at this as just, well, okay, he had a moment. They don't understand how deeply that affects people that see it. And then when you combine it with the stories that were brought out, these stories that some Democrats also sat through, stories of unbelievable heartbreak. And you know something that I noticed in it several times, the word blood was which you rarely hear in a State of the Union. When he described what these families have been through, the sexual assaults, the blood, it was graphic. And then when he said what he said was another one that they sat through was when he started talking about the repeat offenders that get out, that do these heinous acts, the illegal aliens that have done these heinous acts, and these families, some of the families were there that have suffered this. And when he had them stand up, Democrats sat down. It was unbelievable that these people could not even acknowledge the pain and suffering of American citizens at the hands of people who should have never been in the country, and yet they see it, they chose to sit, and today they're making excuses for it.
Yes, and the specific one that I think you're referencing is when Trump introduced and honored Irina Zarutsky's grieving parents, and her mother was sobbing.
Her mother's so crying.
She was sobbing. And then when he didn't get he, I think, expected the Democrats to stand. And he did say, how do you not stand? How do you not stand? You have a tragedy like that. You're honoring the parents, the grieving parents. So that there was a lot of emotion in it, and he presented a heroic America and heroic Americans. That was the theme of it. And so he basically made this obvious picture for the country. You have the people who are supporting Trump and supporting America who are celebrating these heroes, and they went from the hockey players to the World War II 100-year-old Navy pilot, the Top Gun of his day, to the more recent hero from the Maduro extraction, the Chinook helicopter pilot. All of those things are, Americans who give
Folks,
their all, and we need to celebrate.
Now, if you did not hear the section with the American hero that she is talking about, the helicopter pilot.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.